we're doing different things now, you know. The Polish highway, perhaps. The what was it?
The Warsaw subway.
The Warsaw subway. The German highway. There's so many that I'm not even sure. The Italian Vespa. Like, what build are we even at? What are we doing? I don't know. All I know is that in the bottom left, spawning is the Red Protoss player playing for Team Africa Freaks. It's going to be Trap.
And in the top right-hand side of the map for the Shopify Rebellion, the King of Kings, it is Lambo.
It is the Lambo indeed. Oof. Gets his natural blocked. Where is he going to go with the drone? He goes to the third base, of course. Lambo is one of the players most keen on walking the queens across the map. And I wouldn't be surprised, Cats, if we see it happen on Jagannatha. We discussed it before. We saw it happen in the Scarlet game. But Jagannatha is such a great map for queen walks. It hits so hard, it hits so fast, and it's so difficult to defend. Let's see what lessons Trap has learned, though. Are we going to be seeing his Twilight Council opener? It is a possibility. He has been liking it a lot against these forward bases, and after his last experience on Jagannatha, it wouldn't completely surprise me if he opens up with that quick Twilight Council. So far, we have no view clues as to what is happening. All we're seeing is the battle of wits, as both of these guys are trying to... well, Lambo's trying to mine as much as possible in his main base, and Trap is trying to deny as much as possible in Lambo's main base. This is always a little bit of a funky little battle that happens at the start of every single Protoss versus Zerg.
At a high level. It doesn't happen so much in my games anymore, Kevin. I'm sad to tell you.
That is a sign of the times, guys. I think that's perhaps the wake-up call that we need. You know, once that doesn't happen anymore in your games.
Yeah. It's a little bit sad, you know, when they don't harass my mineral line. I'm like, oh no, this is where I'm at.
You flame him a little bit. Come on, just at least pretend like you care.
At least finish mining one, you know?
Yeah, at least do that. The least you can do is steal 5 minerals.
Yeah.
Just like everyone did back in the day in Wings. But no, even that. That's a sad reality. The sad reality we're living in, Cats.
Yeah.
What do we have? We have a Stargate after a Warp Gate. Stalker first. And Lambo is... look at that. He's dodging that Stalker. Like, his life depends on it. And honestly, that Overlord's life does depend on it. So I'm not completely surprised. Yeah, it's gonna get away though. So not going to be too bad here for Lambo. It would be very painful if you lose that first Overlord. Is Trap actually gonna walk around and try?
It looks like it. Yeah, I like the readjustment from Lambo as well to go to the left instead of to the high ground forward, because here he gets a chance to scout again. Yep. Trap will spot that Overlord, so that's nice for him. Actually, he's not gonna pursue it further. And yeah, I mean, it's already tagged pretty much, but it's actually gonna be an Oracle first for Trap. Very cool.
Yeah, and now this Overlord could still have a very vital role in scouting what's coming out of that Stargate. We see the Ling moving across the map. That is a Ling that will patrol the area where the Oracle is most likely to pop out. And yep, there we go. Quick patrol path is being set out. Lambo, always so diligent with those little patrol moves. Knows exactly where the Oracles will come from. Actually he's gonna move with the Ling a little bit. Oh my god, he's right in the path. Look at that. No! He missed it. He just barely missed it, yeah.
Oh no.
He barely missed it, and now he's gonna try to go for another scout. He knows his timings well, and he tried to cover as much ground as possible, but he just barely missed it. There is 3 queens at the third base. There's 2 queens in the main, so they shouldn't be...
How many drones? How many drones? Say a number. Give me a number.
2.5.
2.5.
It's gonna be 4.
It's gonna be 4.
Yeah.
Alright, 3. I mean, between 2.5 and 4, 3 is in there, technically. We got him.
Technically, yeah. I just put out a range. Take that, haters. Yeah. Oh, these 2 attacks are not in position.
Okay. Yeah, but they reposition very quickly. Very nice moves from Trap there reactively to catch those things coming in for the surround and reposition. This Oracle will actually end up finishing 2 more drones. So going up to 5 now, I think. Not too bad.
Lambo also created a crap ton of Lings here, by the way. Roach Warren is already done as well. I think he expected something different. I think he was expecting a glaive opener, because this was a Roach Warren that was timed for a glaive opener. So he kind of got tricked by the fast Stalker and the fast Warp Gate. Cool to see Trap mix it up like that. This is what I mentioned in the first series, that Trap has a massive toolbox. There's some people who are really good with Oracle. There's some people who are very good with glaive openers, and Trap is very good with every single opener. He knows all the tricks in the book. He wrote part of the book himself, so you'll know that he knows it. 3 more Overlords on the way here for Lambo. Is this gonna be a cheeky Queen walk with those 3 extra Overlords on the way? 49 workers, layer here as well. Oh, yep. That's what we're seeing.
Good pickoffs. Do not want to go into those zealots any further, but that was pretty good pickoffs on the adepts from Lambo. He also gets wind that there's 3 zealots, so charge very likely the transition from Trap, even though we don't see that at all right now. So maybe just a little bit of a mind game, as he has continued to produce extra Void Rays instead.
Yeah, and here come the queens, the ladies, making their daily stroll. You know that if you're gonna be enlisted in Lambo's army, that at some point, most likely, you're gonna have to walk across the map, and here they go. 7 queens already out, 1 more queen on the way, couple of Ravagers are being morphed, 6 Ravagers already on the map, 2 more on the way. This is a 4-gas Queen Island, the exact same one that Scarlet did, except Scarlet had a slightly better early game. This time, what are we seeing out of Trap? A lot of batteries, 2 cannons done already in the natural. This is a better setup for Trap. But once again, there's nothing here for him that says, hey, there's a timer on your head, Lambo. There's no Robo Bay. He's even gonna tank one of these vials, and Lambo's actually doing a really good job making sure that the Void Rays can't attack the entire time throughout. Ravager's staying very healthy as well.
Yeah, very good job of zoning with those vials, just using 2 at a time or so to force the Void Rays to reposition. The battery overcharge is now finished. The Cyber Core is in a little bit of jeopardy here. And the queens are running out of energy, however, so the next few Void Rays, if Trap was to continue to produce those, will eventually clear this out. I think one of the queens with the most energy is kind of low, but not being focused fire. Instead, Trap is going after the Ravagers at the front, and it seems to be working out fine for the time being.
Yeah, 2 big vials connecting there. 1 on the Immortal, 1 on the Void Ray Clump. We have a bunch of queens still alive. Another Transfuse is about to go online. There's another Link Flood coming as well behind this, so now that the wall is broken down, perhaps this isn't going to kill Trap, but maybe a similar scenario to that last game. Probes are being pulled here as well. Target fire is still on the Void Rays out of the queens, and these queens just aren't dying, cats.
Yeah, they really aren't, and it really makes me wonder if Trap should have committed onto those Ravagers as hard as he did, because I think he had enough Void Rays to take down the queens. There was a point where only 1 queen had a Transfuse, and there was equal numbers of Void Rays and queens. So I think that might have been able to do a little bit better by him. I love the reinforcements from Lynx, from Lambo. That's kind of what I was wishing for Scarlet to have done, and this is looking very good for the German third now.
Yeah, 7 more Roaches on the way as well. These are going to take a very long time to walk across the map, but there's really nothing here for Trap that says, I am eventually going to kill you. More queens are showing up, and these bad boys, oh my god, that's a queen with almost 2 Transfuses there, will be able to clutch 1 or 2 Transfuses on these forward queens. I think Lambo's just gonna end the game. I thought he would have to be happy with killing an entire base filled with probes and maybe take out a couple of structures, but I don't think Trap is going to be able to hold here, even though he had a fantastic early game, killing, what, 6-7 workers for free. It just isn't enough. Lambo's build a little bit too tight, and Trap once again skipping that Robo Bay, going for that delayed robotics facility. We're seeing the weakness here, cats. This is what I mentioned. Slightly greedy against those queen walks, and a player like Lambo will punish that.
Yeah, especially on a map like this. I mean, there is so much of the defense from Trap situated onto the third base that never does anything, and that was the case as well for for the game against Scarlet, where both of these games he had, like, I don't know, like 500 600 resources invested into static defense at the third that just didn't do anything at all.
Yeah.
So very well done though by Lambo.
Yeah, what a game out of Lambo as well. And here the control looked very clean. I mentioned it before in the Scarlet game as well. Those single biles on the Void Ray clump, they do 2 things. 1, they either force the Protoss to move away with their Void Ray, losing them DPS. And if you just throw 1, it's not like you can still kill batteries. You know, you have like, what, 8, 9 Ravagers. You throw 7 biles on the battery and then 1 on the Void Ray. And when they move, you throw 1 more. You're constantly denying their DPS. But this game, we even saw a couple of times that, yeah, Trap wasn't quick enough. There was too many things happening. And he just tanked one of those big hits on top of his Void Rays. That was extremely painful. And at some point, there was 2 biles connecting at 2 places at the same time. 1 on the Immortal and 1 on the Void Ray clump. And that was the point where all of a sudden it started looking very, very bad for Trap. Because before that, like you mentioned, it looked like eventually he would be able to take out the queens. Maybe not right in that moment, but eventually, for sure, he would have been able to do it. Lambo, however, did not let it come to that. Used his biles very efficiently. And yeah, just takes game number 1 here on Jagannatha, and the second map is going to be Lightshade. And right now, Trap is scratching the back of his ass, like, wait a second, is this really how I wanted it to go? Is map 1 Jagannatha, map 2 Lightshade? Like, what am I opening myself up to here? As it is possible to have a repeat of the Scarlet series.
Yeah, and that would be terrible. That would be Trap going out in groups once again in this global type event. So that is a rough one for him. I mean, he is one of the strongest players in the world, one of the last people that you would expect to go out in groups, but he's 1 game away from that, and at the mercy of King Lambo right now, who looked rock solid with that attack. Kevin, I'm still curious though, because like sometimes I see situations and I'm like, okay, here's what I would do, and here's what Trap is doing, and it's not the same thing. And it's like Trap is infinitely better than me, but what would you do? Would you choose to go after the queens, or do you think he was right to focus the Ravagers with the Void Rays, or is there a give and take, or is what happened there?
It's always going to be a trade-off, right? The more you focus on the queens, the more your Void Rays will need to move away from the biles, and the more DPS you lose. Also, the quicker your buildings will keep going down.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes it's just a matter of if the queens aren't really in range of all of the Void Rays, if you then move into one of the queens to attack, then all of a sudden you're taking way more damage. And very often the Ravagers are a little further forward. So yeah, it tends to not be as black and white as, oh, now I'm going to focus on right-clicking the queens. It's more of like, where do I see an opportunity? In that last game, I do agree with you. I think there were 1 or 2 opportunities where it felt like Trap might have barely had enough. The problem with going for the queens is that if you don't have enough, the game just straight up ends. Because you lose the Void Rays, you lose the energy, and then there's so much ground remaining that you can't do much of anything. So it is really scary to completely switch to the queens, because the queen DPS towards buildings is actually very little. If you're capable of taking out all the ground units, you have a win as well, and the ground units have less HP than the queen. So yeah, it is a trade-off. There's advantages, there's disadvantage, but I do agree with the sentiment. I share it with you that perhaps there were a couple of times where at least 1 or 2 queens could have been taken out. And don't forget that queens regenerate energy over time. So the longer they stay alive, it really does snowball with queen counts, right? So you do need to work on that at some point. There just were times where there was no transfuses, and that's a good cue to start attacking some queens.
Yeah, exactly. There was 1 transfuse left at some point, and even numbers of queens. The Ravagers were basically right in front of the queens, like not far forward. So I thought if Trap is going after the units, he must really think that he's gonna hold and doesn't want to lose a lot of probes, right? Because if you go after the queens, like you said, the units have free reign, they do more DPS, they will go and kill some probes. So I thought maybe it was overconfidence or something like that he would definitely hold.
Well, all I can say to that is that I don't think there's a single Protoss that's overconfident against any Queen All-in. So I think that is the one thing I can assure you. That's true across all levels of play. So I don't think it was overconfidence, but I agree. There was maybe an issue with prioritization there of what units to kill first. This time, this is a Stargate opener. He's playing with fire, my friend. Forward base on Lightshade. I want to use the word incomprehensible. It's a word I Googled yesterday, and I was like, I'm gonna throw it in somewhere, and this is the moment. I don't understand this, cats. I just don't know what this is.
I mean, we'll see. What about a quick Robo and Disruptors of F1 Stargate? Is that never a thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's if you really want to blind counter the Queen Walk, but you'll need to get a Robo so freaking fast. And on Lightshade, even that, like...
Even that's a bit sketchy, huh?
This is the Queen Walk Valhalla. Like, this is what you dream of. Like, this map was made by the Zerg community. And then for whatever reason, Trap doesn't veto it. Like, if there was a map that could have been, entered by communities, the Zerg community would full votes on this one, Like, he's gonna open Void Ray Oracle. Like, we're gonna... Oh, he's taking the other third.
Oh my god, he's taking the forward third? I was gonna ask you, Kevin, what... You like it? Why?
Yeah, I like it. Why not? It's slightly longer distance. Slightly longer distance.
Is it actually? I would have thought it's shorter distance from third to third.
Feels longer.
And more wide open space as well for queens and roaches. I feel like they thrive there. I was actually gonna ask you, almost jokingly, what do you think the chances are that he takes the forward third? And if he takes the forward third, is that just, the worst case scenario? But I mean, you seem to feel okay with it.
Yeah. The one nice thing, about this forward third phase is that it's a... Wait, what happened? Oh no, he's gonna lose that. Oh,
he should have. I think there was one stutter step missing there.
Yeah. The Oracle also only got a single kill, by the way. Both air units having a lot of damage on them. Oh, look at this Roach Warren timing. I know what this is. Yeah. I played enough against this German Zerg to know what's coming, cats. I know exactly what's coming. Okay, what I wanted to say is the one thing that is good here for Trap, is that the bases are very close to one another, and the Zerg needs to choose a base to attack because the rotation is a lot harder. If you take the line third base, you can stand in between and then decide where to go depending on where the most static defense is. So that's why I think this forward base is slightly better at defending. You can put all of your static defense at your third base and you say, ta-da, I'm gonna try to defend this. Lambo is already out. Holy crap, what is this timing? This is the same amount of drones as last time. It is ridiculous how fast he's hitting. There's two Void. There's 7
This is extremely close. And the rush distance, not the game. The game is looking great for Lambo right now. As the Queens will get spotted moving across the map. Ravagers now starting to be morphed for in production. 26 links also being made. And like you said, this is the one thing. I wasn't thinking about this either. But yeah, on Jagannatha, we talked about it. On both games against Scarlet, he didn't have his defenses consolidated. I think that the ground is better to attack into for Lambo here. But the defense, Lambo, the next level play, actually taking the long route into the natural. I love this.
I can't believe it. Lambo really thinking of everything. He does, see? This is why Lambo is so brilliant. This is why he is indeed the king. We have a lot of Ravagers here. We have, 4 Void Rays? 6 Void Rays out right now. We have 8 Queens. There's a lot of Transfuses here. This is just looking like a very similar game of the first one, but it just hits way faster. Cannons just now are finishing up. There's no full wall. The gateway is gonna go down. More biles on top of those Void Rays. One of those will connect with a single Void Ray. Super Battery has been used. Transfuses are being used as well. Good target fire. Oracle goes down. Oh my god, there's so many Ravagers here, cats.
Too many, perhaps. The Transfuses are good. Still, no! Queen falls! That is a little bit scary. This Queen's not really all focus firing. The Ravagers are being the object of Lambo's attention right now as he's trying to bile down everything. A lot of Void Rays still in production. 2 more, this time less Immortals out. And anything like that. Only 6 Queens remaining. Oh, what a huge pile! All the Void Rays are pretty low, Kevin. Is he doing it?
Yeah, I think he is. There's enough Ravagers around to force these Void Rays to keep moving. 22 workers have gone down already. 33 workers left for Trap. Lambo
at the front.
Runs back home. Yeah, I think Lambo is gonna go for the kill. Yeah, another Transfuse goes down. There's one more Transfuse in the back. Too late there. Trap still holding on. His micro has been fantastic, by the way. Did tank 1 or 2 shots of those biles, but it's so hard to continuously dodge. His third base is falling as well. Lambo right now is attacking 2 bases at the same time, and Trap doesn't have an answer at any of the bases, and that, my friend, is an issue. We have the man who won TSL 7 last weekend on the ropes. Is it going to be another deception? Is he going to fall in the first round, just like in Intel Extreme Masters Katowice? These big global events, just not it for Trap, as Lambo just pushes forward here. What is there left?
Yeah. Nothing, and he can still go into the main. A little bit of lag on my side. Was that me?
No, I saw it as well. It was just a little bit of a lag spike out of somewhere.
Lag with double GG. Stop computer. You saw the lag spike too then, right?
Yeah, I think it might have just been Trap's PC.
Okay.
This is the delaying the inevitable though. A bile hit a queen with his final dart. Takes out the void wave. GG gets called. And
that has
Lambo
to be a record.
takes the series.